Today, I want to talk about something that honestly nobody warned me about before I started my breastfeeding journey, and that is the standards you need to keep to protect the nutrients in your milk, especially when you're on the go. Like, we talk a lot about what to feed our babies, but not enough about how to do it safely. And once I started pumping, especially on the go, I realized there were so many little details I had never thought about. So, today I wanted to share the things that genuinely made my process easier and a little less chaotic. Let me introduce myself. I'm Maria. I'm a first time mom. I'm an engineer by trade. I run on data, trial and error, and lots of coffee. And I like doing a lot of research before buying anything to help you make smarter purchases. Let's dive in. I've been sharing with you my journey and some tips that made my breastfeeding process a lot more easier. And something I learned was it's not just about picking the pump and the cutest bottle. There are a lot of small details that actually matter a lot. Like if you are pumping, how are you going to store your milk afterwards? How are you going to warm up the milk? And even the water you're using to wash everything. Those little things add up more than we realize. Feeding safety isn't about one single step or one product. It's about the whole consistency of the entire process. When every part is done right, that's when we can truly give our babies a better protection. So let's break it down. But first, as always, I want to be upfront with you. This video is in collaboration with Papablic, and they sent me these products to try out and review them. But if you've been following me for a while, you know I have to test everything myself before I can stand here and recommend it to you. So everything that I'm sharing today comes from my own personal experience and honest opinion. That's just how I do things. So, starting with the factor number one, the materials. Keeping your milk safe on the go. So, here's something I learned the hard way. Pumping at home is totally manageable, but the moment you start pumping on the go, at work, running errands, traveling, you name it, becomes a whole different situation. You have to start asking yourself, how am I going to keep this milk once it leaves my body? And that's where the first product I'm talking about today comes in, which is the breast milk cooler. The material of your cooler and bottles really matter. According to CDC guidelines, breast milk needs to stay below 40 degrees Fahrenheit to remain safe. That's not just a suggestion, that is the standard. And not all the coolers hold that temperature the same way. Another thing is many or most coolers on the market use plastic liners, and I actually ran a test. I compared the Papablic cooler, which uses food grade stainless steel bottles, against the Mom Cozy cooler with plastic bottles, and the stainless steel consistently stayed under 40 degrees Fahrenheit after 15 plus hours. I'll link the detailed review below so you see the numbers yourself. Stainless steel cools faster, holds temperature longer, and for me personally, it just feels much safer for long-term use, especially when you're out all day and you can't always check the temperature. That peace of mind is everything. Then we have factor number two, which is warming up the milk while protecting the nutrients. So now you've kept your milk cold, that's great, but then comes the next step, warming it back up on the go for your baby. And this one matters just as much because how you warm it up, it directly affects the nutrients and honestly whether your baby is even going to accept it. So I have personally tried at least 3 different warmers, and the things I always look out for is how fast does it warm up the milk and how much space is it going to take up in my diaper bag, because that bag is already a whole suitcase situation. When I tested Papablic's portable warmer against 2 other generic ones I had from Amazon, Papablic warmed the milk in about 2 minutes, while the others took closer to 3 minutes. That might sound small, but when your baby is screaming and hungry, every second counts. And then there's this feature I wasn't even expecting, is the built-in sterilization function. You guys, I cannot tell you how many times my baby dropped a pacifier on the floor somewhere in public. And I used to have this wipes and I would just wipe it down and hope for the best. Having an actual sterilizer right there in your bag, that's a game changer. The warmer also has a wider mouth design, which makes it so much easier to clean. Also, the size of the warmer is just perfect for any diaper bag, and it can also fit in the cup holder, which is very convenient. And factor number 3, 1 second. So, factor number 3, cleaning. My absolute favorite product, okay? This is the best product, and I need you to hear me out. Washing bottles and pump parts by hand has genuinely been one of the things I've spent the most time doing since the day my baby was born. Nobody tells you this, nobody warns you about this, nobody puts it in the what to expect list. I was using 2 separate bins, washing everything by hand, and then still having to run it all through the separate sanitizing machine. It was a whole process every single day. So allow me to introduce you to this bottle washer, and honestly, it feels like a little bit dramatic to say about a kitchen supply, but it has genuinely changed my life. This thing fits up to 8 bottles at once, plus all your pump parts and accessories. It washes, sterilizes, and dries all in one machine, one cycle. A full day's worth of bottles done. And it's really simple to use. You can choose between different modes depending on what you need: quick wash, normal, sanitize, or dry. It just makes sense from the moment you turn it on. It's very easy to use. But the thing that really got me with this specific machine, because I know there's many out there, but what sets apart this machine, that it actually filters the water before it even touches the bottles. And I never even thought about this before. I just assumed clean looking water meant safe water, but tap water can have things in that we can't see, and the fact that this machine takes care of that too, it just gives me a lot of more peace of mind. So if there's one thing from this video I want you to walk away thinking about, is investing in a bottle washer. Please do not wait as long as I did. It is the one thing that you really need. So to bring it all together, feeding is a complete process, not just a series of isolated steps. The cooler, the warmer, the washer, every single one of those choices adds up. And when each step is handled well, that's when you're truly giving your baby the safest start possible. And I want to be really honest with you. This is a personal thought. I genuinely noticed something about Papablic as a brand. They're not just another name throwing another product out there to compete on a shelf. What I've noticed is that they actually study the product. They look at what already exists in the market, and they think like, how can we make it better, or how can we make it safer? Like, for example, they took the warmer and they improved it. They built in the sanitizer. They did the same thing with the cooler, and then they took the bottle washer and thought, okay, what's the part of this process that people are still getting wrong? And the answer was the water itself. So they fixed that too. That's a brand that actually gets it. I think that what it comes down to is Papablic understands that breast milk is liquid gold for us. They treat it that way. They treat the entire process of protecting it, warming it up, and cleaning for it with the level of seriousness that this deserves. All of the links of the products I mentioned are below, and I have a discount code for you guys. Also, please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. If you want me to review any specific product, please let me know. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.